Craig Vinyl community, hello and welcome to another episode. Well, outside here, and if you've heard on the news in Queensland, it's been absolutely pelting down rain all week and it's really coming down my way, but fortunately for me, it's not the rain, it's records that are coming everywhere. Cheers everyone. It's actually a Thursday here today. I'm recording, it's a public holiday, a show holiday. I don't mind going on rides and things like that, but I wouldn't be surprised if the show's closed today because the truth is that near where I live, or about an hour east of here or so, they've actually closed. The government have said that all schools are now closed because they're expecting a heavy deluge of rain later this afternoon and tonight. So this is from a tropical depression or low from a next tropical cyclone that hit the North Queensland coast a few days ago. So I'm about a 10-hour drive from where that hit, and it's just coming. The rain depression's coming down the coast, so I've got to keep my eye on that outside. Alright, in case you didn't see, I recently did a vinyl trip to Melbourne, Australia, and if you haven't seen that yet, I'll put a link below in the description for the video, so please check that out if you haven't. So what I'm going to show here today is one part of the vinyl finds I actually got, and I've got some awesome stuff, and I know some of you are aware I don't tend to favour thrift stores that much, but I did find one okay one, so we'll start with that. This is at a what's called a Vinnie's thrift store. It's I think it's 1988 Australian copy of the band Heart and the album called Bad Animals. Just a bit of writing on there, unfortunately, but this featured the smash hit song in Australia, Alone. The vocals are absolutely amazing, of course, on the song Alone, and that song alone was one reason why I picked this up. The first store we went to. It was a store called Heartland Records. I had a look through there, but I didn't decide not to pick anything up. The next one we went to is called Polyester Records. This is in Fitzroy in Melbourne. And this one was the only one I picked up from there. Eddie Cochran Singles album. It's a compilation, as you can see. And it's on Liberty. It was a good price. I thought, I don't have any Eddie Cochran. I do love his work, and there was a risk involved buying something that was pressed. I think this is pressed in the early 70s. This particular one, and I was a bit worried it may not sound very good, being some kind of compilation. But Liberty label's not too bad, and it sounded absolutely fantastic. As soon as I put it on, I loved it, and it just makes me want to get more Eddie Cochran. Not that I ever seen. This is the only time I've ever seen his stuff in the wild. So next door we went to was a place called Dixon's Recycled, I think they're called. So pretty much mainly all second-hand stuff, and I loved it. I've got about half a dozen here I picked up from there. But in my hand as I was walking around, I probably had about 20 or so records. So what I actually did, I started with the category A, letter A, going down to Z, so working all my way down, and then anything I sort of liked, I sort of picked up as I went along. At the end, I'll go through it and pick out the best ones I want. So that's what I did. But when I got to the letter R, if you know, I love the Rolling Stones, and they had a few there, so I just had to get them. Quite wary of I had a budget, put it that way. So the first one I got, this is I believe it's a US pressing, original pressing of the Rolling Stones' Beggar's Banquet. I think you can sort of see there's a little bit of yellowing spots there. It's not too bad. That's just a hard thing, like the White Album. Any album covers like this are just near impossible to find mint, or find near mint, or even find white after all these years. But what I liked about it came with the the original sleeve there. There's the back of it. This is on a London Stereophonic label, which I hadn't seen before with the Stones. And a gatefold. The spine's in good condition, just really thick cardboard cover. I was, let's just say, very excited to see that. And then I found this one, which I don't have. It's Rolling Stones, It's Only Rock and Roll. Always loved this cover. I haven't looked at it closely yet. Obviously the Stones are there, but haven't looked closely in case there's any hidden meaning or here or hidden famous face or what it's about. I don't know yet. I will look that up. Now, this one's actually a Venezuela pressing. When I was flying the other day, I was watching a Rolling Stones concert. It was live in Venezuela, and Mick was talking Spanish inside. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit, I think that red writing, someone has written on there. I could be wrong, but all the titles are in Spanish. So that makes for interesting track reading. Then I flicked through again, and there was another Stones one that I didn't have. I thought, whoa, that's 3. Awesome. I just knew I had to get them. This is their, I think it's 1987 steel wheels. At the time, I think it got mixed reviews. It still does. I think a lot of Stones fans like me are sort of finding over recent years that this album sounding really good. There's quite a few tracks on here I really like. The song Mixed Emotions I really loved when it came out. I was 14, I suppose, at the time. And the song had a really good feeling to me. The enthusiasm of the band was amazing. They've also got Slipping Away, which is the last song on track 2. It's an awesome song, sung by Keith Richards, of course. And that song was, I think it featured on the album Stripped, their acoustic album they recorded. And I've actually seen Stripped in the stores. It must have been a new release on vinyl, because when it came out, it only came out on CD, I believe. And I saw it in the shop not long ago. It was about $130. Couldn't believe it. Okay, moving along. This is all from the same store at Dixon's. I came across this one. It's the best of Cream, so it's the best of Goodbye, Disraeli Gear, Wheels of Fire, which I think was their live one, and their debut one, Fresh Cream, which I showed in a recent video. An Australian pressing this one, so it's just a good one to put on. Every song is awesome. There's a great mixture of Cream there. So it starts off with Sunshine of Your Love. Side 2 starts with Born Under a Bad Sign and finishes off with Strange Brew and then I Feel Free. So I love that stuff. Another one from there, the same store. This is the 3rd studio album from the company. Why did I say that? From the band Bad Company. And again, like It's Only Rock and Roll, it's a very thick cover album. Very hard to stop the reflection on this one. Gatefold. So the band's there drinking beer and whatever else they're drinking, and they're watching Bugs Bunny. But on the back of the cover, it actually says it's actually reference to Bugs Bunny, care of Warner Brothers. So they've done the right thing copyright-wise. It says here it's recorded in France, September '75, with the Stones mobile unit. What does that mean? Is that to do with the Rolling Stones? I put it on the other day, just side 1. Sounds awesome. I have heard that the first 3 albums of Bad Company are excellent. I've now got them. Do I get the next couple? What do you think? Okay, the last one, we went to another store called Dutch Vinyl. Beautiful looking store. They laid it out exceptionally well, using beautiful timber finishing and racking, and even the dividers aren't plastic. It's just like a timber slate with names like Deep Purple or something you might have seen. So I was impressed with the store, and I got a free biscuit. And then I saw this one. As you saw, I raved on about the album Metal by Pink Floyd recently. Absolutely brilliant album. And then I saw this one. I think this one came out before that. or just before, and it's Pink Floyd's Gummer. Now this is an original UK pressing, I understand. A double album. Again, this is very thick cardboard as well. I loved how they did that in those days. Here's the gatefold. So this is a Canadian pressing. Excuse me, a Canadian pressing. And just on the usual yellow label, Harvest. So I've yet to spin this. I can't wait to spin it. I got this for a good price. They actually had a few copies of this one, so I was extremely pleased with that. I'll put that away later. So, alright guys, this video is going way too long. Hopefully I've edited some out, so by the time you're watching this, you're still alive, you're still awake watching. So thanks again to Brad from the Tech Webcast, who showed me around Melbourne. Thanks again, Brad. I picked up some awesome vinyl, and I can't wait to get back down to Melbourne and get some more. I want to go back to Dixon's and get some more there. So, or maybe they can ship them out to me, I don't know. Anyway, cheers out.